Are we live? Well, and a test to all the drivers out there. Thank you all for joining us as we had some slight technical difficulties getting the stream up, but we welcome you all to the Cup Series at Watkins Glen, and a test to the drivers' skill and talent as they go to a road course for the second time this season. And I think it's going to be a fantastic race to see all of these extremely skilled and fantastic racers trying to wheel a NASCAR Gen 6 stock car around the twisting, bending curves of Watkins Glen. We're proud to be back here in New York. It's a fantastic race. These are the race conditions for your race tonight. Thank you. Brought to you by FTN and Slow Broadcasting, the people bringing you this stream currently. The league is IORA. This is the IORA Gen 6 Cup Series. Beautiful conditions here in Watkins Glen. Should be a fair conditioned race. No rain predicted. I think it's going to be a very fantastic race with all the drivers we have. Also, shout out to TrackCams22.com. TrackCams22.com are the people who give us these beautiful camera angles for the viewers at home to see. And we welcome you all for joining the stream. And qualifying should be underway very shortly. And we should hopefully see some drivers on track by that point to show you. But we might have a graphics refresh by the time the season ends for all the viewers sitting at home. There are multiple packs for us broadcasters to use, but there is Alex Anderson going around the carousel right now, and this is the cup layout of Watkins Glen. No boot for these guys. The boot is the longer version of Watkins Glen. This is just the short mini layout. As you can see, Anderson with the Brandon Dollar Designs paint scheme coming around the final corner now. And also for you, the viewers at home, the Watkins Glen 6 hours is this weekend. For any of you viewers with an iRacing subscription, does require a C-Class road racing license and get up a couple of your friends and hit up the track. Watkins Glen 6 hours and the IMSA Endurance Series. In the IMSA Endurance Series for all your endurance racing needs, iRacing will be hosting that big slide for Anderson as he comes up the hill. This setup proving to be quite loose as he goes down the back straightaway, car sideways. Looks like more like a midget race than a cup race. But there's Demos going through turn 1. Make sure to use all the curb on exit. And again, Demos looks a lot more fair balanced on the looseness side. I don't see him wiggling nearly as much as Anderson. As I say that, he does get quite sideways, but, could be just the setup proving to be a loose-natured setup. But after the fact, here he is coming through the bus stop. Looks very good. Slightly touches the grass, but that's not going to be a 1X to slow him down and hamper his time. With fair conditions today, I believe we won't have the scorching 122 track temps like we did in COTA just a while back. It's going to be with new weather conditions and the new iRacing patch just coming out a couple of days ago for the next-gen Cup cars. These are the older versions. The Gen 6 used in 2021 was the last time these were used by official NASCAR competition. And going down the front straightaway now, believe we're following Demos. Following Demos into turn 1. You can see, gets her loose. He's flying. He's flipping on his roof. Someone spins as well. But Conklin to top the board over James Thurston, Ethan Stanley, Daniel Marceller, Aiden Walker, Alex Anderson, Paige, and Nance to round out your top 8. James Thurston, the 96 Kevin Harvick fan, running second place right now, still a few tenths off of Conklin. Goes really wide there, but let's see what he can do in that Haas 96 Ford machine. Comes down the front straightaway. Let's see. No, he's just going to wreck it across the line. So clearly, I think, what a nice pirouette. Clearly, his qualifying's over, but there is Beckman going to start his lap as he does not have a lap on the board. And there is Chase Shaffer in the 99 Flopper Racing machine. Just made this paint scheme just but a few hours ago. Like I say, it does look very nice myself. But let's see what he can do to try and put up a time closely competitive on the board. Still, though, Conklin leads the timing sheets over James Thurston by about 2 tenths. And Stanley just a close third behind. The top four all having very, very competitive times. It looks like we're going to have a long and hard battle for the lead for the majority of this race. As I say that, Chase Shaffer goes to the top of the board with an 11.78. What a lap time, beating Conklin by about three hundredths of a second. I gotta say, that's a really impressive lap. There's Aiden Walker running with a push forward number. Not to start any beef, but that scheme doesn't look the best. Oh, it goes really wide. That might be an off track. It's a throwback scheme I'm hearing from race officials. Not a throw. Yeah. Oh, his first the first Watkins Glen winner. But coming through the final corner now, let's see what time he puts on the board. Walker in 6th place currently with a 12:31. Does he improve? No, he does not. And I think that's his qualifying run over. But here comes Chase Shaffer now coming out of the final corners now. Does he top his qualifying time he set before in 11.78, the fastest time we've seen tonight? Can it be beaten by the man who said it himself? Does it go any faster? No, he doesn't. Oh, he does! An 11.7 flat! What a lap! That puts him now 2/10 clear of everyone behind him. And there is Walker taking to the glass. Ooh, hard lick there in qualifying. Flips the cars upside down. That's something you don't see every day. So that is a hard lick there. But your provisional pole sitter as it stands is I don't think anyone can beat that lap time set by Chase Shaffer, your provisional pole sitter for the Cup Series here at Watkins Glen. And what a lap. That was a fantastic lap set by Chase Shaffer. No one seems to be out on track anymore to follow. So I think that should be qualifying done and over with. And we'll see what happens when the drivers take to the track to do this fantastic race. And as we're viewing the track, as there's no drivers out on track right now, we have our own pit lane reporter here in the booth with us, Daniel Mosteller. Oh, and as I say that, the 20 DeWalt machine comes out on track. But while he's taking his green flag, I do believe, there's Joseph M. Armstrong taking the green flag right now to start his qualifying run. Daniel Mosteller, you have us in the booth. You are a pit lane reporter. Do you have any updates from anybody during qualifying on what's happening right now?
Walker said your opinions are trash about his paint. It's very quiet. Everyone's paying attention. So, yeah, not much going on here.
Interesting. Interesting to hear for our drivers out on the track. Riding on board with Joseph M. Armstrong, going through the back bus stop chicane right now. About to head into the carousel here at Watkins Glen. First time on the board still is Chase Shaffer with an 11.7, beating over Sean Conklin by a 10th and 100th of a second. So clearly Chase pulling up to this race, having the pace to maybe win this race. As we see Joe now coming through the final corners, he will not get to set a second lap. As when he comes across the line, we'll have 10 seconds left in qualifying, but now it comes across the line. What's it going to be? Goes third with 11.91. That's a pretty competitive lap time, and now beats James Thurston as pushes him back down to 4th position. And with qualifying concluded, we should get up your qualifying grid as we see it. Here's your qualifying grid for tonight's race. Chase Shaffer takes the pole over Sean Conklin. That is the 20 machine of Joseph M. Armstrong, James Thurston, Ethan Stanley, Daniel Mosteller, Aiden Walker, Alex Anderson, River Page, Jason Beckman, Clark Nance, and Corey Lyles to round out the grid. Oh, and as we see more drivers here that did not set a qualifying lap, there is Brandon Dollar, Maximus Molina, Braxton Whitaker, Mason Moriarty, Beaver Serrano, David Cabrera, and Dudes Castroneves to round out the grid. As we sit here on the grid waiting for everybody to show up, we'd like to thank all of you guys for tuning in on the stream, and we will be starting this race very shortly as the drivers starting and getting ready to start this race. Everybody's sitting on the grid. As we view the drivers before the green flag is waved, this is a standing start, not your typical iRacing rolling start, as the NASCAR series likes to do. Drivers preparing for the start of this race. Chase Shaffer, your pole sitter there. And as we get ready for the green flag to fly, watching the flagman there. So the drivers to get ready for the start sequence soon. We sit here and wait on the grid for the green flag to be shown to all the drivers to go ahead and start this race. We appreciate all of you for joining, and we will be waiting here with you to see the start of the race. Flagman brushing his nose there. Green flag about to be waved. We're green at Watkins Glen. Chase Shaffer gets an excellent start down on the inside. Gets the jump on Sean Conklin. Now it's all the battle of turn one. Ethan Stanley jumps Joseph M. Armstrong, but Conklin gets a run around the outside and passes our pole sitter Chase Shaffer down into turn one. The 58 machine, now your new leader as we exit. James Thurston now gaining some positions on the start is third. As we come up through the S's, Ethan Stanley taking fourth position from Joe. To see the ticker on the top of your screen, down the back straightaway we go. Looks like everyone else is holding steady off single file down the back. No one else really fighting for position. Doesn't look like it, no. As we head into the bus stop, no issues so far. Conklin's still your race leader who took the race lead away for Chase Shaffer. We're going to wreck in the back. They're spinning in the entry to the bus stop. No caution so far. We get a replay on the incident there just at the start of the lap. What happened? So as we get playing there, so Corey Lyles, Brandon Dollar, who was it? What happened? Oh, it was Braxton Whitaker hitting the back of Corey Lyles on lap one, causing a stack up to the entry of the bus stop. Just like it was in Silverstone, Corey Lyles once again wrecks under the green flag. We're not even past the first lap yet, but Beaver Serrano makes it past the wreck. And I was going to say that about Jason Beckman, but it does look like he got collected. The caution flag is out on lap one in your running order right now. Sean Conklin, Chase Shaffer, James Thurston, and Ethan Stanley still the top four as it was after the start of the race. And it's been a pretty interesting start. And as we are under caution, it's great to hear from the drivers who were involved in that incident. And to get one in the booth, Beaver Serrano, you joined us here in the IRA broadcasting booth after a near wreck avoidance there in the back of the pack. Explain what happened on lap one entering the bus stop.
All right, so I just saw that they got like turned or something. And then like, oh no, I did wait, nah. So they got just turned or something. Then like, I just couldn't avoid. Like I thought, I don't really know. I just like, I'm looking at it. Oh, I tried avoiding on the right, and then Lyles was there. Then I slammed into him.
But I have to say that it's a fantastic wreck avoidance from you there. That's the voice of Beaver Serrano. We appreciate your time in the booth. We'll move you back in there with your guys. But as we have our own pit lane reporter from this race as he exits his pit box, Daniel Marceller has us in the booth with us. Do you think you have any insight on that?
All I know is Corey Lyles is extremely mad, and there were a few drivers that severely struggled with the start. One of those being Armstrong, myself. One of the people that got a really good start was Clark. He was zooming up the inside, but then wimped out in turn one because he knows he's gonna fall back to last before the bus stop. But yeah.
The voice of Daniel Marsteller, our pit reporter for this race, and our driver specialist out on track right now. Under caution, going too wide means we're going to go back racing this lap. So there is Daniel Marsteller in the 87 machine. And with our leader there, Sean Conklin. There he rolls across behind the pace truck. And Chase Shaffer, our pole sitter, on the inside of Sean Conklin to begin the restart, will be on the outside of out of the final corner. So it will be an interesting start, to say the least, as we have Ethan Stanley, one of our best road course racers, behind Chase Shaffer, the person who got the pole. It is wonders what we're going to see on this restart. With the field double file down the back, it's going to be amazing to see what the drivers can pull as we go green this lap and this time by. See if there's anyone else we can get. Oh, here. We can pull in one of our fantastic road course drivers sitting in fourth place. Ethan Stanley, you have us here in the IORA broadcasting booth. What's the strat for the start?
Try not to get plowed, basically. I'm really struggling on tires here. There's like no grip. Track's very slick, and it's just going to be survival.
So you're saying it's going to be more like a demo derby than a road course race than it is right now?
Yeah, we'll see how the tires go in the end. It's going to be very slick. Everybody's going to be sliding around. Car doesn't like to turn in. It doesn't like to go out of the corners either.
So, much like a callback to the Montreal Nationwide setup he once made, where it didn't turn right.
Oh, well, this turns a little bit better than that, but yeah.
Well, we'll drag you back in there as we're going green, but we appreciate your time for being in the booth. But
right. Thank you.
As we get to go green, once again exiting the final corner, the pace truck is in, riding on board with Ethan Stanley, sitting in fourth place right now, riding on board with Demos. And as we go to take the green, we are green once again, it seems. Yes, we are. We're green once again in Watkins Glen, your leader right now, riding on board with Daniel Marsteller in the middle of the pack. Chase Shaffer takes the lead once again over Sean Conklin, who has issues into turn one. Ethan Stanley going wide. Joseph Armstrong in the mix as well. Now goes to the inside there of Ethan Stanley, who chooses to ride the outside. Does not look like it's going to work for him. So he is blinking there in front of Demos, but new leader, again, off a restart. Chase Shaffer takes the lead once again. Our pole sitter for this race is now back in first place. There you can see across the rear view of the car, Sean Conklin just following just behind. It does look like he's starting to catch Chase once again. But entering the carousel, I'm not sure who's the faster car here. It does look like Conklin is catching him, but I think Chase just had a faster qualifying lap. What it will come down as we come across the final few corners off the restart. It stays green. Looks like there's no incidents in the back of the pack that I can see readily. As we enter the final couple of corners, Chase Shaffer will come across to lead the lap, who lost his pole position spot entering turn one off of the start due to a good start by Sean Conklin, the driver we're riding on board with now in second place. Now goes into turn one and no chance of Conklin to fight, but he does get a good exit. You can see that the time just drops significantly. Chase, it looks like struggling with understeer, as Ethan Stanley said before, but they're just pulling away from the rest of the field. No match. They're in their own zip code compared to the rest of the drivers, but like Ethan Stanley said, these drivers clearly know the setup well, having run some practice laps before the race was supposed to be scheduled. Ethan Stanley leading the train of drivers just behind on the backstretch, but Chase Shaffer still leads across from Sean Conklin in second place. But it looks like Sean Conklin has now severely closed the gap and is now trying to find a fight with Chase Shaffer, our provisional pole leader. and our provisional pole sitter right now, our race leader, as we head once again into the final few corners on lap 5 out of 25. Looks like no incidents to report once again. But as
Sorry
we
to jump
enter,
in, but there was some contact in turn 1. Stanley and Armstrong got into it. Both kept going. Armstrong just lost a few spots, but yeah.
hearing from our in-race reporter there, Daniel Marceau, looks like it wasn't clear to me, but there was contact further back with the person we interviewed, Ethan Stanley. Now, Sean Conklin tries to size up a move for turn 1, does not make it happen, but Chase, you can see they're just struggling with understeer and getting loose, and then Conklin just goes wide to get every inch of racetrack he can. But I don't know if he's going to get the run up the hill. We go. Chase Shaffer still your race leader. You can see the rear end starting to kick out a bit, but it looks like he has it mainly under control just over Sean Conklin. But down the backstretch we go. Does Sean Conklin get enough of a run to pose a fight into the carousel? Riding on board with the 99 Ford machine. There is the rear view. You can see Sean Conklin doing everything he can to gain every inch on Shaffer. But now Stanley coming into the back of your screen there. It looks like Conklin was faster in Sector 1 compared to Chase. But Stanley now trying to close back the gap he once had to the guys in front. Stanley 0.2 of a lap faster, 0.2 second faster. He's slower in the second sector than Chase, but he was faster. There's Sean Conklin versus Chase Shaffer in the first and second sector here at Watkins Glen. But Chase Shaffer still your race leader over Sean Conklin as we come across the line to start lap 7. There it is across your board. Conklin faster in Sector 3. So it looks like Conklin is not faster through the bus stop, but I think he can pose a fight in the first and final sectors. But here he goes once again riding on board with Sean Conklin, looking behind the 99 Ford machine as he goes up the hill once again for the 7th time tonight. Tries to get a run down the back straightaway, but cannot make it happen. The Ford machine now pulling a gap for the first time since the restart on Sean Conklin. Goes into the bus stop. Now they start braking at the white line. Oh, and it looks like he's got some Netco damage, but iRacing fixed itself with Chase Shaffer going wide. Goes onto the grass. Chase Shaffer now on the inside, but can he make the move stick? Conklin fighting hard. As Errol Bourbon would say, door, quarter clear for Sean Conklin. He goes way wide. Now he gets a bumper just clear on the 99. Chase Shaffer now falling back to second place after going wide. Does he use the bumper to move Sean Conklin? No. But he's much closer than he was the last time he tried to fight him. That wasn't a restart. So now, Sean Conklin once again, your race leader over Chase Shaffer. Chase Shaffer now having to fall back just a bit. Riding on board with Ethan Stanley now following behind the 99 machine instead of Sean Conklin. It's now he's just trying to gain back every time he can. And look at that. The gap has closed significantly. Ethan Stanley is now back within the fight. As you can see, the top 4 drivers there now closer than ever. Now it's Armstrong holding the train back behind. But as we ride on board with Ethan Stanley just behind the 99 Ford machine, is there any possibility he could pose a fight to Chase and or Conklin as he gets closer and closer and closer with the bumper cam? Goes for the move, looks it, blocks high, goes Chase. But now they think about it. Now they go back into the bus stop. Oh, Stanley. Oh, and he uses the bumper. Does he use the bumper and pushes Chase? No rear end damage for the 99. But Stanley must not be happy. So there is a bit of rear damage there on the rear left, it seems. There's a bit of spoiler damage, but now Stanley gets the run. You can see the bumper getting closer and closer, looks low, goes to the inside, and you can see there is damage there for the 99 machine. After contact with Chase Shaffer, Ethan Stanley now takes the position. Or does he? Now Demo's posing a fight. 99 inside of the 91 of Ethan Stanley. Demos hits the wall. No caution for the drivers behind. Ethan Stanley running side by side with the 99. Who's it going to be entering turn 1? Stanley outside. Chase inside. Down into turn 1. They all seem to exit fine. Stanley goes really, really wide, trying to get the run out of every inch of possible track space on the 99. Goes to the inside now. That was the outside for the first S, but they're still battling side by side. I can't tell who's it going to be. Stanley takes the position on the 99, but now it's all Sean Conklin's race. If he holds it, he has it. But we're only on lap 9. There's still plenty of race to go. As we see a lap car now coming into view. Braxton Whitaker now holding up everybody else. I hope that doesn't affect the Sean Conklin's lead. Not again. We have a lap car interfere with the race leaders. There's Braxton Whitaker going slowly, brought to you by Slow Broadcasting. No affiliation, of course, but there is Braxton Whitaker now leading, quote unquote, as he is a lap car in front of the lead pack. No word on him yet of him getting out of the way, but now Stanley closing the gap behind to Conklin. You can see there the time going from 1.5 seconds to now down to under 1 second. So clearly Stanley having the pace, like he said earlier, was struggling with grip, but now seems to have the car under control. Now trying to chase down the leader. Sean Conklin goes really wide. Clearly that strategy is working for that 91 machine, but now we've got a battle here in the back of the pack with Daniel Mosteller and Joseph Armstrong. But Chase Shaffer getting really loose up the hill. There goes the 99 machine. And they're leading the back train in the back of the pack. There's Joseph M. Armstrong as they go into the bus stop once again. The gaps are closing, and now Braxton Whitaker coming in really, really close to Conklin. He has to get out of the way. There's no way he stays in the way of the leaders. He has to go to the outside, let the leaders by. As keep focusing on Chase Shaffer. But there goes Sean Conklin wide. This gives Stanley the opportunity. Braxton Whitaker still not getting out of the way of our leader, Sean Conklin, now posing a threat. Now Stanley looks to the inside, but Sean Conklin covers it perfectly. There goes Braxton. He now lets the leaders pass, but that just lets Stanley catch up. And now Chase Shaffer puts it down the inside. They go side by side, and that caution is out. Caution is out. Lap 11. Not sure what happened. As we're showing you the wreck from earlier, as we try and get you a replay of what happened there to bring out the caution on lap 10. So it appears to me that it was Brandon Dollar who brought out the last caution. As you can see here, entering the final series of turns. There you can see Mason Moriarty and Alex Anderson coming into view there. And there's Brandon Dollar coming through the final corners. And what happens to cause the caution? He gets on the curb. Does he just go wide and spin? Gets loose. Oh, and he just tags the wall against the front end. But with drivers coming up so close behind, it had to have been a caution before. I don't think anyone else was collected. There goes Corey Lyles as he pulls it into pit road. Apparently got word that Clark Nance is also wrecked during this caution. There is the number 9 A-Shock machine, the number 9 A-Shock Chevy entering turn 1. Gets loose. Oh, saves it, save it. And he did not save it. Loops are back around. Now, under caution for the second time tonight, as we hear once again from our pit lane reporter, Daniel Mosteller, any word on what the drivers are saying right now?
The yellow was for multiple single car spins, multiple accidents. There is tension between a few of the drivers and the admins. Drivers aren't calling out when people wreck, which is our policy that when there's 3 single car spins, there's a yellow and people aren't calling it out. So, yeah, that's what we're all mad about right now. But, racing product. Something's going on with Shaffer and Armstrong.
So
they're brake checking each other in front of me.
So previous beef that thought was settled between Chase Shaffer and Joseph Armstrong rearing its ugly head on pit road. So we come across the start lap 11 under caution once again for the second time tonight. Everyone choosing to take tires on lap 12. Second caution. There goes the pace truck out of 1. And everyone choosing to pit. And race off pit road. Sean Conklin maintains his lead. Ethan Stanley gets the jump on Shaffer. As Joseph Armstrong, looks like everyone kept their positions as they entered pit road. Some still choosing in there to fight and fix their repairs. There is Corey Lyles. There's a crowd. And there's your race leader, Sean Conklin, now catching the pace car. As there behind is Ethan Stanley and Chase Shaffer. All of them choosing to try and focus and not be in the VC. So sorry to those who wanted to hear the voices of the drivers in the top 3 currently. Cannot provide that right now. It would be good to interview your race leader, but he's not in any voice channels we can drag and pull. But from a person we can, let's see. Doesn't look like we could get anyone in the booth to try and see what all the deal was. But right now, Sean Conklin, your leader over Ethan Stanley, and then Chase Shaffer just behind. It looks like it's supposedly a calm race, but mad damage on the back of that 96 Thurston machine. Now, this believe Shaffer either has a problem, he's stopping, so maybe he has an EOL.
They both got speeding because they were all messing around in the pits. So, yeah, I don't really know what's going on.
So the 99 drops to the tail end of the longest line for speeding on pit road. As you can see that the 20 did the same. The flagman is still waving the yellow flag. We're still under caution. Coming across the line, though, we should be going 1 to green. And when we see that, the pace car lights should be off. Yes, it is. You can see the drivers going double file once again. So as we enter turn 1, still under caution, we'll be bringing everybody back round once again. The field is bunched together under caution. There is a minimum pace speed now with the recent iRacing update, where if you choose to go with the restart zone instead of on green, you now have to follow a specific pace speed when coming to the restart zone, and the leader gets to decide on restarts, but it has to be on green during the official start of the race. But there is your leader, Sean Conklin, just going past on your screen. For those of you wondering, I don't believe IRA uses the start zone rule, but from an admin here in the chat with us, Daniel Marceller, does iRacing go? Does IORA go by the start sign, the new start zones that were introduced, or does it still go off of green flag?
I'm not sure. I assume we're not. I know that this track has a restart zone, I think, but I don't think we're using it. We're just going on green. We always go on green, so I'd assume we're not using them.
We heard it from one of the admins himself, going on green instead of the newly introduced restart zones. And so there is your Fast Four as it is right now. Sean Conklin, your race leader, over Ethan Stanley, James Thurston, and man, Aiden Walker there. What a surprise for the 93 machine to be that far up the pack. But as the pace car now enters the final corners for the final lap, we are going pacing. If you're just joining us now, the 99 and 020 machine had penalties for speeding on pit road and had to drop to the tail end of the longest line. You can see Joe weaving in the back of the pack there. But it's not that long, but still pretty long for what you'd like on a road course. On an oval, they could probably get it done, but it's going to be a much tougher job on a road course. But as the pace truck now decides to pull into pit road right about now, makes the sharp right turn to pit road, and we are going to go green once again at Watkins Glen. Who gets the better start? They're even once we come down to turn 1. Who's it going to be? We've got 3, 4 wide, 5 wide racing in the back with 5 wide going into turn 1. It's chaos in the back of the field. No caution, no incidents. Ethan Stanley doors the 58. He goes sliding across the track towards the exit zone of the track. It's a single car spin. He's out of the way of the leaders. But now Ethan Stanley, your race leader, after contact with the 58, just happened. Oh, and Thurston into the wall. It's over. He's flipping in the back of the pack. Caution is out for the 3rd time tonight as the 96 goes flipping in the back of the back. We're going to show you a replay of the incident there with the 96 machine. We're getting a replay ready for you of what happened to, right now, being shown on your screen, James Thurston flipping wildly out of control. Got hooked by the wall. Let's see what happens. So he hits the wall once. Follows behind Aiden Walker, gets loose. Does he save it? No, he doesn't. Gets snagged by the wall. Just gets thrown up in the air. goes for a tumble, gets hit, bounces off the ground, goes for a flyer. Flying in the air, flies over everybody in the back of the pack. Double barrel roll, but he manages to stick the landing. Oh, he got tagged from behind by... Thought he just got loose, but it was River Page, the person involved with Thurston flipping wildly out of control. See, he lands on the... Oh! Chase collects Thurston, and that's what sends him up in the air. And somehow no damage, it looks like, on the 99 machine. But that car is junked. James Thurston pulling it into his pit box now. As the caution's out for the third time tonight at Watkins Glen, Ethan Stanley, your leader for Aiden Walker. For those of you just joining, we had an incident there in the back of the pack and in the front of the pack. James Thurston and Sean Conklin both going for a spin off the restart, but Conklin's spin was induced by door-to-door contact with Ethan Stanley, the man in first right now. After wildly flipping out of control. What a wild ride there for James Thurston. Let's get some inside scoop from our pit reporter Daniel Mosteller. Give us some info on what happened there.
With the Conklin incident, the only words exchanged were from Stanley. It was "I am so sorry," and then the entire chat broke into laughter as James Thurston went flying into a stratosphere.
Hearing it from our pit reporter Daniel Mosteller, there you have it. Looks like the entire race chat decided to go wild after very fairly, no doubt about that. So James Thurston went for a wild ride, flipping uncontrollably through the air after getting hit twice. Once in the back, and he got Newmaned. Got Newmaned in the air. Watkins Glen David Rudiman style crash, flipping wildly through the air. Now we're one to go. The drivers will go double file once again. We will try it again. Another restart for the fourth time tonight. A different front row this time. Ethan Stanley, your leader. Aiden Walker in second. Then River Page in third. Alex Anderson in fourth. So that is your fast four for this fourth restart. As we head down the back straightaway, can only imagine what's going to happen this restart. It does not look like James Thurston will be joining us for the restart, as he might be a lap down for flipping wildly coming after the green. There he is. He's caught up to the back of the pack.
Thurston is on the lead lap.
Thurston is on the lead lap, as I'm saying now. There he is, tail end of the longest line. And I do believe Sean Conklin, who might show up in the back of your picture there, may be joining him as well. Unclear, though, if he makes it when we go green. And as you can see, there's some drivers choosing to skip the bus stop, some drivers choosing to take the bus stop under caution. We'll see what happens off this restart. But the pace track there goes wide, as the pace track is racing away. But no, I don't think that these drivers will wreck again, although I have no clue. So, we will see. Possible crank it up later for the viewers later in the stream, possibly. But we'll see what happens after the pace truck ducks in for the fourth restart tonight. As your new leader, Ethan Stanley, now tries to fight valiantly over the 93 of Aiden Walker. As you can see there, green flag has been waved. We are green once again. There it is, across the line. 8 laps to go. Oh no, 9 laps to go, as it says. But jostling into turn 1, we're 4 wide. We've got smoke in the back that seems... Oh! And we've got a spinner in the back of the pack. A single car spin once again. We stay green racing again. Who was that in the back of the pack? Brandon Dollar coming out with a spin. Looks like maybe contact there. Let's see it happen. So there you can see, just in front, Joe gets radically sideways there, saves it, wheel hopping uncontrollably. I don't know.
Stanley misses. He missed the bus stop.
Stanley misses the bus stop from our pit reporter, but gets tagged by Sean Conklin and sent into the turn 1 grass. Let's get a replay on what happened there. Was Ethan Stanley comes into the bus stop. Looks pretty okay. He's not on that apex, though. Yeah, he's going to completely just skip the second curb. Goes way wide on the grass. Manages to hold out his position out in front. Coming across the line, 8 laps to go. Ethan Stanley, your leader, over Aiden Walker. After a 2-car incident in the back of the pack, as looks like Aiden Walker goes extremely wide. There he is. Got some fighting in the back of the pack. There's Daniel Mastiller attempting to make a move on River Page. Does not get it done. Falling back across the ways to all the viewers at home. We'll see what we can do. We've got mild fighting in the back. Looks like Joe is fighting with Jason Beckman. But as we go through the bus stop, get ready and turn up the volume on your TV sets as we go to a Crank It Up here at Watkins Glen. Coming back again to you live, 6 laps to go here in Watkins Glen. Ethan Stanley still your race leader. 2-second gap over the rest of the field. The train header for the front pack is Aiden Walker, holding up both Daniel Mostello, Chase Shaffer, and Amir Page. River Page. Sorry for those of you at home. But Demos with a slide and a half coming out of the S's. As once again, we are starting to go through the S's, the backstretch chicane. Backstretch bus stop as we go. Close fighting there with Demos and Chase. Oh, he tags and he uses the bumper. The 99 forces the 87 out of the way. Was this a planned move? Was it unintentional? We'll have to see. Riding on board with Chase Shaffer. Let's get a good view of what happened here. So, as you can see, let's see. So, blocks low, goes low. I don't think he tries to turn. He just looks like he get either that or that is some radical understeer. 5 laps to go here in Watkins Glen. Your leader, Ethan Stanley, over Aiden Walker. Chase Shaffer, after an incident there with Daniel Mosteller, who is now back in 4th place. River Page in 5th. Joseph Armstrong in 6th. Alex Anderson, Mason Moriarty, Conklin, and Thurston to round out the top 10. Riding on board with Daniel Mosteller as we head down the back straightaway. The 99 machine just in front. As what once was a really thrilling caution and wreck-filled race, after 2 incidents but no third, no caution being brought out, and as we see drivers coming through the carousel now, going down the back straightaway to going to the final couple of corners, as we come across to whittle down the last few laps of this race. Ethan Stanley holds a dominating lead over Aiden Walker. Aiden Walker just getting a few hundredths back, but can never make the gap stick. So Ethan Stanley only ever increases his lead. 4 laps to go in Watkins Glen. A fantastic race so far. We've had about 4 cautions tonight, but overall a really, really good race to watch. Been fantastic to be here, but right now the battle has sort of died down at the front, and at the moment we're sitting at 2 cars who have spun, but not a 3-car incident. If it's one more, I believe we might have a caution. But it looks like that there is no incident to cover. As we're looking at the closest battle we can see right now, which is Demos trying to catch the back of Chase Shaffer. In the 99 Flopper Racing Machine, who leads over him, who moved him out of the way in the carousel we're going through right now. Demos looking like he's starting to close the gap and fighting valiantly to get back the spot he was once in earlier. As you can see there, the gap ever so closing. It looks like Demos is faster on pace. He just has to make all the exits he can stick. We've got battling in the middle of the pack. Joseph Armstrong passes River Page. But what a race for Stanley. Said he wasn't feeling good with the conditions. Said he was going to be loose and that the setup didn't turn the way he wanted it. But look at it. He's probably led the most laps here tonight and is currently leading this race with 3 laps to go. Unless there's a caution, I think Stanley has this race all but won. So, as we see a 3-second gap now to the 91 of Ethan Stanley, who pulls away from the rest of the pack, is in his own zip code, who has completely dominated over the rest of the field. Aiden Walker, the person heading the train for the people following Stanley. But Stanley having that pace edge over everybody else in the field. Like I said when we started, we've got a 4th caution again? And it is, we're under caution for Jason Beckman. What has gone on? As we work to get you a replay of what brought you our 4th caution of tonight, here it is. Clark Nats apparently bringing out the caution, which would have been 2 laps to go. So we will have a green-white checkered. There is the A-Shock Chevy. Goes for a spin. Beaver! Oh, what a miss! Fantastic miss by Beaver Serrano to not hit the pit barrels. He takes out the cone, but he doesn't take out his race car. Riding on board, we have to see that miss. There goes the A-Shock Chevy for a spin. Whoa! Missed it by an inch! And there goes Braxton Whitaker to take the position, but that, my friends, is the near miss of the season. No damage to the 66th car of Beaver Serrano. That is quite the miss. I've never seen something quite like that since the tour mods for OSRL when Cabrera sent it into pit road. Of course, he didn't actually hit the pit cones. He just went sideways into pit road. That stream is up further back just from a couple of months ago, so if you would like to go watch that, it is what I think is pretty funny. You can go back on the FTN channel and go watch that after the stream is over. But we bring you coverage of this race brought to you by Slow Broadcasting on the FTN network. And we bring you under caution again for the 4th time tonight for what seemed to have been a self-spin Beaver Serrano, the GOAT, is the 66 Timmy Hill car. There is Ethan Stanley, everybody deciding to pit after a long reach. No, he stays out. Barely misses the commitment cone, and Ethan Stanley will stay out of pit road. And that might have forced a lot of drivers to pit when they didn't want to. Fourth caution here tonight in Watkins Glen. Here's the race onto pit road. Chase Shaffer, that number 99 machine. Looked like he's getting 4 tires along with everybody else. There's Joe. Does the right side of the car jack up? Yes. FTN race off pit road. Chase Shaffer, the leader. Joseph Armstrong jumps Conklin. Fighting in the rest of the pack. And there it is. Beckman. Over what it looks like is Moriarty. Yes, it is. Over Whitaker, Nance, and Serrano. Everyone else deciding to stay out. Ethan Stanley still your race leader. But we're 1 to green here for a quick yellow for a green-white checkered attempt. So we should bring in the person who caused that yellow. Clark Nance, you join us here in the IRA broadcasting booth. So what happened there to bring out a green-white checkered attempt?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the final incident was. Obviously, here in IORA, we have the 3-spin rule. 3 cars have an incident, we have a caution. I had an incident on the front straightaway, and I caused people to go on pit road. So I think that was the second incident, and then something happened with the third incident. I'm not sure exactly what it was. I know that Ethan Stanley and Chase Shaffer are having some beef. It's pretty funny to listen to. It's great. It's fun, for sure.
Well, it seems like they've had that beef all season, ever since Pro 4s.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since Pro 4s. No, it was a Gen 6 at Laguna Seca this season. They've been going at it at each other, and even through the Pro 4 series, which was the third series, which concluded with Demos winning the championship. They've had beef ever since then. But we appreciate your time in the booth as you go for the first green-white checkered attempt. Thank you for your time, Clark Nance.
Yep, have a great day, guys.
That was the voice of the number 9 Chevy machine as the pace truck now pulls into pit road now. As you heard, the green flag is out, and we are green once again, riding on the back bumper. Demos pushing the living bumper off of the number 91, but now Walker choosing to put up a fight against Ethan Stanley. But Ethan Stanley, he knows these road courses like the back of his hand. What can he do to stop the fight? He's on the inside now, on the outside as we come back up through the S's. But now he has the inside. Oh, they rub doors, but Stanley makes the move. And now Daniel Mosteller trying to put up a fight against the 93. Fantastic fight as we come down the back straightaway. Looks like nothing happening in the back of the pack. We all stay fine. And Danny, now Demos hits the wall. Does he come back on track? Oh, he barely misses Conklin by an inch. Whoa. Now Conklin moves Demos. He spins in the carousel. Demos clobbers the wall. No one else involved. They're going to keep it green. We've got wrecking in the back of the pack. Corey Lyles collected. Clark Nance barely misses the 51. Braxton Whitaker collected and Demos collected. And that is a second green-white checkered attempt, and we've got beef on the racetrack. So, our TV production office having a handful there. Most chaotic race restart since the actual start itself. And it all started here. Coming across to the backstretch bus stop chicane, Daniel Mosteller cuts it too close to the inside wall, hits the metal Armco barrier. As you can see there, Walker in front of him, Conklin just behind, just barely. Look, you can see there, bam, he tags the wall and it sends him through the grass. By the time you're in the grass, you have no control of your race car. And Joe did the same thing in the back of the pack. When Demos comes back on the track, barely misses Walker and just misses Conklin. That's got to be an onboard for the century. Just barely missing Sean Conklin's nose. But as we come here, Sean Conklin's nose comes to fight back. But riding on board with Conklin through the entire incident, here he goes, Demos into the bus stop. There he goes. He hits the wall. You can see the sparks. And, oh, yeah, just in front of him. But return to the front bumper. And around goes Demos into the outside wall. That wasn't the only incident there. There you can see from an outside perspective, he was on the inside. But we've got nearly 4 wide racing in the back between Max Molina, the 99 of Chase Shaffer, 96 of James Thurston. They went 3 wide. They're battling for all the positions they can. They go 3 wide. And Thurston just putting Moriarty's wheel in the grass. There comes Corey Lyles into the picture on the inside of Mason Moriarty. I don't believe he was collected in the wreck that happened, but now, obviously seeing Demos going off the track. There it is. There's Corey Lyles on the inside. Now Demos comes back up the track. And this is going to be a night to forget for Demos as Mason clobbers the back. And that hits Corey Lyles, spins him right around. And there goes Beckman involved as well. And Braxton Whitaker, nowhere to go. Thought he had it missed, and bam! Gets shot back into the wall. The big one. Off of the first green-white checkered attempt. And here's what happened to Mason Moriarty. You can see Demos there. Oh, and he taps him, sends him in there. But no, I was right. He only tapped him, but golly. That was a hard lick for Braxton there in the back of the pack. And when we're about to go green, and once again, the starting line, your front row has been the same consistently for about 15 laps now. Stanley over Walker, but it has changed in the back. Conklin, who lost the lead earlier due to contact with Stanley, is now back up to 3rd place and has a chance to win this race if he can get it done. Down the back straightaway we go for the second green-white checkered attempt of tonight after the first one had complete chaos. All of the drivers just getting collected in incidents. There's the outside line. The inside line takes the bus stop. Catches back up at the field. Viewing the scenery around Watkins Glen while we're under caution after a chaotic green-white checkered attempt previously. We go again into the final few series of turns into Sector 3. The pace truck comes. And there you can see the other layout, which would come onto this section of the racetrack, the longer layout of Watkins Glen. But the field now bunched up once again for another green-white checkered attempt, and the pace car is coming through the final few corners now. As we attempt to go again for another green-white attempt, the pace car comes into pit road, and what's it going to be? The green flag is now waved. We're back green again at Watkins Glen for another attempt at a green-white checkered restart. The field goes into turn 1. Stanley's still your leader over Aiden Walker, getting a shove by Sean Conklin. Does he execute his revenge after earlier contact with Stanley? We've got spinning in the back of the pack. Max Molina goes for a spin, but we're still racing up in the front. There it is. And it looks like everything seems to be okay. No more wrecking in the back of the pack. We've got fighting for position. Oh, we've got a massive wreck in the back of the pack. Names drop down the leaderboard. It looks like Chase Shaffer is involved. 6th caution here tonight, and it's a big stack up in the S's. Max Molina just barely getting through. Mason Moriarty goes for a spin. So you can see they're spinning, had it saved. So, Clark Nance collects Chase Shaffer. Chase Shaffer, with the same thing that happened to Thurston, gets swung around into the catch fence. Almost out of the track. But what happened here? So Clark is on the high side of the racetrack. Has no business being near Chase. Does he get loose? Does he hit the wall? Chase goes high, gets loose. Yeah, no, Clark Nance was loose. That was not an attempt to cut off Chase at all. And as a byproduct, Chase goes into the catch fence, getting gripped by the wall the same way James Thurston did. So, and Beaver getting collected in the wreck as well. Speaking of Thurston, there he is to be collected. And a James Thurston-esque crash for the 99. Back in the back of the field after being collected by Clark Nance after he got loose. And Anderson as well. But Demos makes it through. And it doesn't look like there's much damage on that 67 machine, but I could be... Oh, that back bumper is all torn up. Once again, we're going to go for the third green-white checkered attempt here tonight in Watkins Glen. No, this... our third green-white checkered attempt tonight in Watkins Glen. Brought to you by Slow Broadcasting on the FTN channel. We appreciate all you viewers tuning in to watch these streams. I appreciate being in the booth, and it's an honor to commentate and to be here for all you guys to watch this race put on by IORA and our fantastic league hosts, Alex Anderson and Daniel Mosteller. And speaking of which, Daniel Mosteller, our pit reporter, any incidents, apart from the one that just happened, give us a word on what the drivers are thinking right now.
I don't know. Starship just came up and hit me. I don't know if I did anything on that wreck, but everyone's mad there's a yellow. May's not happy with me after the rejoin. Lots going on. Yeah.
So, chaotic restart to be said, but it looks like the same leader as always. Ethan Stanley heads the pack in front of Aiden Walker there, in front of Sean Conklin and Joseph Armstrong, choosing not to pit again. Does he fake the pit road entry? No, he doesn't. It's not at all close to pit road, and I believe pit lane is closed. As we come across the line, we should be going green this time by. Shuffling in the back of the pack there is Anderson and Molina both pit. So does Nat, Serrano, and Whitaker. But Shaffer stays out, as he might have towed to pit road before the caution. Looks like he was rolling when the caution came out, but unaware to me. Let's see if he's there. There he is, a completely clean car. So clearly fast repair has been taken away from the 99 machine. But as we get ready to go green for the third green-white checkered attempt tonight, no one to talk to currently. We were going to drag someone in the booth, but no one to talk to right now. But you know what? Let's get a word in from the man who's been sitting second on every restart so far. Nemesis in front, Ethan Stanley, Aiden Walker. How are you doing to try and put up your fight to win this race?
Good. I'm just terrified about Joe Armstrong and John Conklin. Me. And how you not? I knew about that whole tornado thing already, Schulte. Is it? Wait, no, Schulte. Is it an observed tornado or? No. Look up Ryan Hall's. No. Look up Ryan Hall, y'all. Look up that. If it says observed, then get down. Just get to the lowest area. Just look up on YouTube Ryan Hall, y'all. Just look up that. Just do it now.
Great tornado advice by Aiden Walker there, who starts second to Ethan Stanley. We appreciate your time here in the booth, Aiden Walker. We'll move you back in there with your guys as we get to go green. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
That was the voice of Aiden Walker, who sits second to Ethan Stanley, who tries to put up a fight every restart but doesn't seem to make it happen. Could it be this time that he makes it happen? As the pace truck now decides to duck into pit road right now. We are green once again, and a big shove to the back of the 93 by the 20 of Joseph M. Armstrong. Conklin shoving Stanley. Got smoke in the back of the pack as James Thurston was getting shoved through turn one. Oh, there's massive wrecking. We've got spinning off in the back of the pack. The access road has been taken by a ton of drivers. They all make it through. Mason Moriarty comes down. Conklin takes the lead. What happened to Stanley? Our race leader. if it stays green, Conklin could go 3 in a row for the first time ever in the IORA Cup Series or any time during an IORA race. Leads over Aiden Walker, but Demos just behind the 93 machine. All three of them have a chance to win this race with 2 to go. Walker shoves it up the inside. Does he spin him? No. They're side by side. No bumper on Conklin. Doesn't make any difference to the performance at all. It doesn't look like Aiden Walker getting held up there. Not the optimum line, but now Daniel Mosteller in second place. Does he use the bumper? No. Sean Conklin still in front. Gets closer. He looks for the move. Down the inside. Does he do it? Oh, he had a bumper. He definitely had a bumper there on the 58, but now, as we come across, we will make it to the white flag. Any flag that ends the race will be official now. Sean Conklin out front again. Could he have a shot to go 3 in a row in the IORA series, in any of the series? He would be going 3 in a row as he won twice last week, both the IndyCar race and the Cup race at iRacing Superspeedway. As a masterclass was put on. And there is Daniel Mosteller, who is currently getting gapped by Sean Conklin. No word on the rest of the drivers after the incident in the back of the pack. Did look like a big incident, but not one enough to justify another attempt at a green-white checkered. Daniel Mosteller trying everything he can. Does he use the bumper? Oh, he's there! And Conklin turns down. Conklin gets wide, but no, he still holds the lead. How did he manage? But now Demos is closer than ever. If he wants to move, he has to make it now. Conklin, no, Demos crashing. They're crashing all over the place. Huge wreck. We've got a big crash. Joe makes it through the roof. We've got flippers in the back. Joe, who had nowhere to be on the final lap of this race, exits the final corner. Mayhem caused by the battle between Sean Conklin. He blinks coming to the line, and Joseph Armstrong wins at Watkins Glen after a masterpiece in wreck avoidance. Corey Lyles, third place after constant incidents this race. That is something special. Joseph M. Armstrong, your race winner. After contact with Sean Conklin and Daniel Mosteller as they fought it out for the race win, that was an absolutely unbelievable finish. I cannot believe what I just saw. To any of the viewers watching, if you're just as stunned as me, you're in the right place, because I have no words for what happened there. The entire field died, and Joe made it work, got through the field absolutely perfectly. I don't believe he's in a VC to interview our race leader and our race winner as he comes to the line. No, he's not. He's not in any VCs for us to interview, but there is your race winner. After a masterclass in a wreck avoidance coming to the line, the final 2 corners, Joseph M. Armstrong puts on a fantastic show getting through the colossal wreck, now coming to the line to burn it down after his second official IRA win for the league. Slows it down and burns it down on the line, and he takes the win at Watkins Glen after a chaotic 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. He was nowhere to be seen, but after the entire field died, he was the one who had the car and the chances to make it through the wreck in the back of the pack. And there is your race winner, Joseph M. Armstrong, burning it down on the line. It doesn't look like he's in any VCs to drag him in to interview him, but what a performance put on today. He had a couple of chances to be in front. It was about 4th place on all of the restarts, it seemed, but had enough courage to go full through the wreck, and he did it. And that's what won him the race here tonight at Watkins Glen. Joseph M. Armstrong burning it down. A fantastic race win after a masterclass in wreck avoidance. Parks it on the line after a chaotic race finish, which saw the entire top 10, it looks like, all crash coming to the final 2 corners. It absolutely insane incident. There is Joe. There's Stanley now burning it down as we get a chance to interview our race winner. Joseph M. Armstrong, you won the race here at Watkins Glen after an exciting race finish. You made it through the colossal wreck down the back, coming to the final 2 corners. Explain what it was like going through it.
I wasn't lifting. I don't know what the hell happened though. I came off a 9 and just kind of saw 2 guys wrecking, and then off in the distance I saw the other 2. I was like, oh boy, and I just kind of kept my foot in it, and yeah. So I don't know how it happened, but I probably shouldn't have won.
Well, that crash was caused by the incident between Sean Conklin and Demos fighting it out for the lead on the white flag, coming to 2 corners to go. But you put on a masterclass in wreck avoidance. But it's good to see you back in victory lane again. Your second win for the league. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel great. I thought I kind of screwed myself and Chase. I'm really sorry to Chase because we both on the first pit stop I pushed him into speeding and sped myself, and we had to go to the back. So yeah, that was tough, but I liked it. I probably should have more than 2 wins at this point, but I keep getting wrecked. But here we are, I guess, in victory lane. So woohoo!
Yeah, an absolutely amazing performance put on you to get through that massive wreck. But do you think there might be beef between the drivers after that colossal wreck?
I don't know. Are y'all listening to the race chat?
Well, we can't hear the race chat because we're only watching. But
oh yeah, they're going at it. May and Demos are upset at each other, and they're going to personal levels. So yeah.
Glad we're not showing that on stream. But
yeah.
20 machine to victory lane. Congratulations on your second win of the series. Any final words?
Ethan Stanley can go choke like he did this race because that entire last lap. I'm gonna just say this to the audience and then leave. The entire last lap, he was just complaining, right? Because we pitted. We got the caution at like lap 23, and for some reason, like everyone stayed out, and me, Chase, and Conklin pitted. And we said as soon as we pitted that everyone's in trouble, and then we kept getting cautions, and I was telling Stanley, I was like, yeah, this isn't going your way, bro. And then whatever happened with him and Sean happened going in through the S's, and then he wanted to start beefing with me like the entire last lap. So I mean, he choked it. He choked it. Simple as that. But that's all I got. So yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time in the booth. Joseph M. Armstrong, the race winner. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That was your race winner, Joseph M. Armstrong, brought to you by, on the IORA Race Network, FTN, brought to you by Slow Broadcasting. As we try and work on who got second place, I don't believe they're in VC, nor do I believe third place is in VC. No, it doesn't look like, but the one last person we can interview is Clark Nance, who drives the number 9 A-Shock Chevy machine. Walker, sorry. Let's get an interview from Walker now. I forgot he was in VC. Aiden Walker, you joined us here in the IORA broadcasting booth after a colossal race-ending wreck.
Can you speak English?
Yes, after colossal race-ending wreck, give us your view on it.
First of all, Conklin needs to learn to not block like that, but also Schulte, was it just a tornado warning or?
They can't hear him on stream, but
oh no, a watch is not a warning. Okay, but yeah, honestly, I thought I had it when I was exiting the S's because I didn't even expect him to be that slow. But they have a lot. I guess he had a lot of front end damage from his punting.
Yeah, there was no bumper on the 58 machine. No bumper coming to the line throughout the entire green red checkered.
If I knew that, if I knew that he had no front bumper, he would have just gone sent for the outside wall when he blocked me. And when he blocked Demos out of the exit of the corner, that was a very dumb block.
Yeah. We were riding on board with Demos when that incident happened, so we got a good view of it on stream.
Well, no,
Demos was there.
if you just look at my replay, I pretty much had the best view of the whole wreck. Because I'm like, well, here they go. Maybe I'll just Moses this in. Joe was the one that made it through, so.
Yeah,
But
talking
I
about
really don't
parting the
care.
Red Seas, Joe, who went through the entire colossal wreck, coming to the final two corners.
Yeah, I was like, come on, car, go, 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 go. And then Joe's just, I thought Joe was about to get wrecked right there. And it probably would have gone to Anderson if that Joe got caught in it.
Mhm.
Because, or Lyles, one of those two. So, unless both those two wrecked, then it would have gone to me because I finished P4. But that whole race was just, I feel like if that one caution didn't happen, the second one of the green-white checkers, it would have been just fine. But it did, so it is what it is.
Well, after a chaotic race finish, we appreciate your time in the booth, Aiden Walker. Anything else you'd like to say?
I guess just don't block on a road course, especially on the exit of the corner.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, Aiden Walker. We'll be moving you back. As we look to interview one final driver as we show you the replay of what happened there. The colossal wreck. Here it is. But fitting we interview the number 9 of the A-Shock Chevy, Clark Nance. You have us in the broadcast booth after a colossal wreck on the final lap, which decided the race winner. Give us your point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I had already gone to the garage by the finish. I was watching. Seemed like it was a bigger. A couple of the drivers are okay. It's just, it sucks for the A-Shock 9 team. I feel like we had a decent car, and then I think it was the second to final restart. I just lost talent. Track, thing was loose. The track was loose. Everything was loose, and I just lost talent. Got into chase, wrecked a couple other guys. Didn't mean to. Hope to rebound next week at Bristol. We'll be debuting the Night Owl. Great scheme for the night of Bristol.
Yeah, we're showing the replay now on stream. What a wreck to be seen at the end of that race. But while we get ready to show up the race finish, anything else you'd like to say to the people at home?
I mean, just don't race like a dumbass like I did, I suppose. Sorry to Chase. If he doesn't want to take the apology, that's on him. I guess that's all I got to say.
All right, well, we appreciate your time here in the booth. It was good talking with you. We'll move you back in there with your guys. But here are the race results shown up on your screen. Joseph M. Armstrong takes the win over Alex Anderson, and then followed by Corey Lyles, Aiden Walker, Max Molina, James Thurston, Ethan Stanley, Daniel Mosteller, River Page, Beaver Serrano, Jason Beckman, Mason Moriarty, Sean Conklin, Jay Shaffer, Clark Nance, Braxton Whitaker, Brandon Dollar, and David Cabrera. I believe there's one more who's not being shown, but he did not start the race. Neither did Cabrera. Dudes Castroneves rounded out qualifying and rounds out the grid for the race. But we appreciate all of you viewers who have. We once again appreciate all you viewers who tuned into the streams regularly. It's a pleasure to broadcast all of you through the FTN network. It's great to see all of you guys react to the race, and this one was a top 10 race for sure. One of the best races of the season that I've ever had the pleasure of commentating, and I'm glad I got to do it. But we appreciate all of you for tuning in at home, and we'll be back Saturday for the next IndyCar race. So we appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you Saturday. Thank you to all of those at home, and we'll see you.